when you actually make a decision of your own accord and volition to sit down on a Sunday afternoon for 3 hours and watch the Chicago Bears, you deserve everything that you get. You really do. And you know what you ultimately always inevitably get, folks? Let's cue it up. Bears football! Bears football! Bears football! You deserve it. You deserve all of this shame and mockery that goes along with it, myself included. Now I could equate this to, I watch so you don't have to, and you should probably be taking that advice. But no. Not only do you sit there and still watch their games every week when they don't deserve your support and don't merit it, you do it gladly. And you have a number of you fucksticks feeding into the mediocrity of the McCaskey way, the best way you know how. You actively, proactively cheer for Bears football. And there aren't too many things more Bears football than to cheer for goddamn mediocrity. And of course, in a season where wins and losses do not matter, the only thing that matters is Justin Fields' development and getting Matt Nagy the fuck out of town as quickly as possible, you still have asshats that want the Bears to win games. Ding dong, that's the wrong way to go, dumb dicks. The only thing that's worse are those fucking 50, 60,000 asshats that actually choose to pay money to this organization who does not deserve it, to go to the UFO that shit in the Roman Coliseum and watch Bears football in a third-rate stadium, which of course also is the peak epitome of Bears football. Well, Bean Counting Ted here, and I gotta tell you, the bang for our buck with that Soldier Field renovation back in the early 2000s was a whiz banger, I tell you. It got my abacus off. Shut the fuck up! Bears football! And what you saw here today was the peak on many levels of Bears football. Side note, to the person in the NFL office that decided America needed to see the Bears play on national TV on Thursday on Thanksgiving against the goddamn Lions, fuck you! Bears football! Nobody else needs to see it. Why subject the rest of the country to this goddamn torture? I had to get to this Ravens game today. Of course, you're looking at it and you're saying, hey, the Ravens are going to be without Lamar Jackson, without Hollywood Brown. Here's an opportunity for the Bears to pick up a victory. Which, of course, again, is the wrong philosophy. Should be looking for Justin Fields to play well and the Bears to lose. You do not want to give any hopes of illusions of any backdooring into the playoffs this go-round. Do you really want another year of the Matt Nagy experience? I think not. Well, a real fan cheers for their team no matter what. And sometimes you cheer for them to lose because it is the best thing for the long fucking term, you idiots! Only those that are addicted to the abusive relationship that is Bears football would cheer for this fucking shithole team to win a meaningless ass game like this today. And it was Bears football right from Jump Street. First offensive drive. Justin Fields, beautiful downfield throw to Darnell Mooney. It's like a 30-yard completion. Puts the Bears in field goal range. Eventually get to a point, second and long, run up the middle. Nothing happens. Third and long, run up the middle. Nothing happens. Why? Probably because they're saying, hey, we're facing Tyler Huntley. We're facing the backup quarterback. This is a chance for us to play it close to the vest. Play true Bears football. Not take any unnecessary risks and play for the field goal, which of course Cairo Santos proceeded to immediately miss. Bears football. The Chicago Bears had 2 fucking weeks to prepare for this game. And in 30 minutes of game action, folks, how many points did they score? Well, of course, a noontime Nagy special. They scored dick. Dick equals 0 points. Not a field goal, not a touchdown, not a safety, nothing. Nothing. Bum kiss. Not butt kiss, bum kiss. Because that's Bears football. Have 2 weeks to prepare. Luck out getting to avoid playing a former league MVP in Lamar Jackson. And you can't score shit. That's Bears football. And then to make matters even worse, you go into this game. You know, you want to see another week of development and some more growth in Justin Fields. And, of course, he goes out with a rib injury and he's out for the second half. So you know what that means? It's Ginger Snap, Red Rocket, Andy fucking Dalton time. And you know goddamn Matt Nagy's getting his goddamn rocks off because this is his chance at validation. This is his chance to prove the haters and the doubters wrong. It's his chance to show that his way is the only way for Bears football. So, of course, immediately changes the whole scheme of what they do on offense because you know deep down he's still fucking calling the plays most of the time. Hey, it's a bootleg for Dalton. It's a, hey, quick-hitting wide receiver screen to Darnell Mooney, which he busted the house. But let's pretend like Andy Dalton did something great and incredible there. Bears football! Only the Bears would undercut their young quarterback, failing to put him in the best possible situations to succeed and showcase his skills in order to then immediately customize their offense around Andy Dalton, the retread, mediocre-ass veteran who has no business in the game outside of injury, because that's what Bears football is all about. And then when you get to the fourth quarter, of course, it's a 7-6 fucking snooze fest, because that's Bears football! Bears football! Bears football! And of course, eventually, the Bears can't move the ball offensively. The Ravens eventually get into position. Even got the block punt in there. Well, that was nice. Usually you don't have to worry so much about the Bears special teams fucking things up, but they did in this game. Missed field goal, block punt, like, you know, a total team effort of suck here. Bears football! And the Ravens eventually kick a field goal and they go up and you're thinking to yourself, okay, there's still time for Dalton and this offense to screw it up. They only had 2 weeks to prepare, so they can't possibly get this right. And that's what you're thinking. But of course, I was wrong. Now let's rewind a little bit. You want to know what peak Bears football is? Is your dipshit noontime Nagy head coach calling a timeout because his headset went out on a 4th and short in the fourth quarter. So that way what can he do? He decided he's going to go for it and run fucking Montgomery out of the goddamn Wildcat. I can't wait for him to talk about in postgame how he needs to watch the film so he can understand the whys. I can't wait for him to throw Montgomery under the fucking bus and be like, well, he's designed to run out wide there. And I, of course, told him where to go, and he went the opposite direction because I'm not an idiot. Because that's what a piece of shit like Matt Nagy would do. Throw his own goddamn players under the bus. Why would guys like Roquan Smith even be busting their ass for this asshat at this point? I don't fucking know. But of course, you burn a timeout there, and this becomes bigger later. You burn a timeout there when you don't fucking need to, so you call a dumb dick formation that doesn't work on 4th down. Bears football. Then you get this fucking 4th and 6 situation, under 2 minutes to go, and all of a sudden, Jason Peters, the 39-year-old NFL vet, false start penalty. Now it's 4th and 11. And fucking Dalton gets lucky going up against a cover 0 where it's about a goddamn double move. And it's goddamn Dalton hits him in stride and it's a fucking touchdown. And I'm sitting there saying, no! Not this type of Bears football! Getting just enough wins to be just mediocre enough to delude people into thinking this team is better than it actually freaking is. Giving any excuse or opportunity for Matt Nagy to have a justification to continue to be employed in Chicago, which should have long since been gone a couple of years ago, mind you. But he's still there. He persists. He insists. The organization persists. They insist because they fucking hate us. So once that touchdown happens, I'm pissed. Because this is not the Bears football I want to see. No. But thank God, there was still time. And when there's a will, there's a way when it comes to Bears football. In snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. And what we saw at Soldier Field on Sunday afternoon was a magnificent example of that other form of Bears football. The Ravens have like a minute and a half. They got to go the length of the field. They got to actually get it into the end zone for a touchdown. Field goal's not going to make a difference. They've got to score a TD. So what happens? Secondary immediately. Deion Bush gets called for a pass interference penalty. Gives the Ravens an extra like 25 yards of field position. Now the Ravens are at midfield. Multiple blown coverage. All of a sudden, you know, goddamn, what do you know? The Ravens are inside of the Bears' 3-yard line with like 30 seconds to go. I wonder how this is going to go. Well, of course the Ravens freaking scored a touchdown because this dumb dick Desai defense, safeties coach, skipped a level because nobody on God's green earth worth a brain wanted to fucking be the defensive coordinator in this lame duck, lame ass situation. Of course, the Desai defense, injuries my ass. Bears fans love their Bears football excuses, don't they? They got shredded when it mattered the most. And of course, it was the fucking secondary that got shredded the most, which is supposed to be Desai's specialty. They pitched a masterpiece here. Blown coverages, penalties, you name it. And all of a sudden now, the Ravens are up. They're up by 3. There's only like 25 seconds to go. Now, not unprecedented to be able to hit a couple of quick passes, get into field goal range and potentially have a chance to tie the game and send it to overtime. However, that journey was made a lot more difficult because of Bears football being exhibited by Matt Nagy, because when the Bears scored that miraculous touchdown on 4th and 11 with another blown coverage by that overrated ass Ravens back end of the defense, instead of knowing like, hey, we're up 4, be ready to go for it. Go for 2, because you should go for 2. Put you up 6. Put some pressure on the team. Even if they score another touchdown, got to kick the extra point to win it. He has to burn a fucking timeout. So, of course, then the Bears have no goddamn timeout because Matt Nagy graduated from the school of Andy Reid School of Management. He's a fucking idiot. So now you get into this spot where the Bears have no timeouts. They got to move probably 50, 60 yards. Now, they did all the way to midfield because for some fucking reason, the Ravens were trying to play some Bears football too. Yeah, let's like 11, 12 seconds left. Let's back up all of our defensive players and basically concede midfield to the Bears so that way they got one shot at a Hail Mary. Well, apparently what do I fucking know, because on the last play of the game, in the truly fitting fashion to end a Bears football extravaganza, and that third-rate UFO took a dump in the Roman Coliseum Stadium. In that abortion of a city, Chicago. What happened, of course? Andy Dalton on a Hail Mary got fucking sacked. Game over. God, this was glorious. From the pain of victory to the joy of defeat. Anybody that's rooting for the Bears to win at this point needs psychological evaluation. Anybody that wants to sit there and say, well, Andy Dalton put him in a position to win. Andy Dalton fucking sucks. What about the multiple missed throws today? Do you have eyes? Do they fucking work? To those that are saying, well, he gives them the best chance to win. They scored 13 goddamn points today. Nobody gives them a chance to win with fucking Matt Nagy as the head coach. What the hell is wrong with you? To anybody that's cheering for this team to win games, what is wrong with you? For anybody that's upset about this Bears team losing today, again, what the hell is wrong with you? If you're actively rooting for Andy Dalton to play well, if you're actively rooting for the Bears to win games, you are the problem because you are addicted to the abusive nature of Bears football. The real fans are obviously upset because Justin Fields might not be in Thursday, who knows? And we might be subjected to the fucking Andy Dalton show on Thanksgiving. That's what we want to fucking see. But the Bears are 3-7. Like, we got 7 more games to go until for sure this Matt Nagy experience has to be over. Has to be! Stop cheering for Bears football! The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect the results to be any different. You always want this team to be mediocre, and yet are stunned when the results aren't any different. Instead, understand, this is pain. And I laugh to avoid the pain. And that pain, of course, is The glory that is Bears football!